Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Jacob.
Hey, it's our food unit, which is really one of my favorites besides history. Oh, and I like travel. But food is right up there with one of my favorite things in the world. So we're going to be talking about mushrooms today. Do you like mushrooms, Jacob?
I do. I love mushrooms. I mean, they're very versatile, as we'll find. You can use them in many different ways. And actually, I don't eat meat, so mushrooms are usually kind of a staple for me, if you know what I mean.
I do. If it's a staple, it's a big part of someone's diet. A staple here in Taiwan or even in Asia would be rice, noodles, and of course a staple in America, where we're both from, is bread. So we're going to talk about these wonderful mushrooms. I was just telling Jacob before we started, I had some delicious pasta last night.
Nice.
With mushrooms that were so tasty.
Was it a white, like a cream sauce or a white sauce? Or that's the best.
It was very light, but they had sun-dried tomatoes.
Ooh.
I mean, I like lots of cream sauce, but this was very healthy. Probably too healthy, but it was really delicious. But the mushrooms really made the dish wonderful.
Nice.
So let's get started. We're going to read day one and then talk about the mushroom or mushrooms on the planet Earth. A famous guessing game in the U.S. called 20 Questions often begins, is it an animal, a vegetable, or a mineral? This seems to cover most classes of objects, particularly foods. However, if it was a mushroom, the answer to that question is no, no, and no. Since mushrooms are clearly not animals, people tend to consider them plants. However, this is not accurate. They are scientifically categorized as fungi, a separate group from both plants and animals. Fungi contain a variety of nutrients, which has led to extensive research into their health benefits. For instance, one commonly enjoyed mushroom, Agaricus bisporus, provides impressive amounts of vitamin D, which helps the body absorb calcium and build strong bones. Other kinds of mushrooms are a source of vitamins and minerals that support the immune system. Some studies have indicated that certain compounds in mushrooms can improve gut health by prompting the growth of healthy bacteria. Mushrooms also have an umami flavor that can indirectly aid heart health. Too much salt can be detrimental to blood pressure, but the rich, savory umami of mushrooms makes any dish more appetizing. No salt required. Finally, most mushrooms contain a component called ergothioneine that prevents or slows damage to cells all over the body. A survey of cancer studies that covered nearly 40 years of data showed that incorporating mushrooms into the diet can reduce the risk of cancer. While oyster mushrooms have more ergothioneine compared to other mushrooms, including any kind of mushroom in the diet is beneficial. People around the world eat around 200 different species of mushrooms. Some of the most common are introduced on the next page.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to day one of our article, Animal, Vegetable, or Mineral? Mushrooms are none of the above. Okay, well, in our title, we come across our first vocabulary word, and it is mineral. Is something like a rock or a substance that you would get from the ground usually. Some very common minerals you might think of are gold. Gold is a mineral. Silver is a mineral as well. And in our diet, sometimes we have to include minerals to stay healthy. For instance, people need zinc in their diet. That is a mineral, a very common mineral. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're classifying things into animals, vegetables, or minerals, and our subject of the article, mushroom, we're asking, is it an animal, a vegetable, or a mineral? And the answer is, well, it's none of these.
Yeah, I was surprised to read that. Actually, I could not have told you before this lesson what, a mushroom was classified as.
I'd say it's like a vegetable, but I guess that's wrong.
I thought it was a kind of vegetable myself, but No, we would be wrong if that's the answer. So if you play this game, don't be stumped or confused by this question. So now you know a mushroom is none of the above. We're going to find out what it is. So we go down to the second paragraph. It says, since mushrooms are clearly not animals, people tend to consider them plants. That's what I thought they were, a type of weird plant. I know
Right.
it was a kind of fungus, but that's all I knew about them. So they are scientifically categorized as fungi. This word is the plural form of the word fungus. So a fungus is a type of plant, they're saying in my dictionary, that has no leaves or flowers. It grows on plants or other surfaces. It uses other things to live off. So you'll sometimes see them growing on trees or near trees, or they're kind of strange little things.
Right. Sometimes we talk about our bodies can have some fungus on them, right? Like if you take a shower and then you don't dry your feet well and you put your socks on right away, a fungus might grow on your feet. We call it athlete's foot. Here in Taiwan, I think they call it Hong Kong foot. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. Because mostly just guys get it. So you have boys and you're a guy.
So,
no,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
You get it, and it's itchy and it's really gross. So you have to buy some medicine to get rid of this fungus that's growing on your foot. But yeah, this kind of fungus will also occur in the wild. You could be out and you might see it growing on a tree, as you said, or on the ground or something. And yeah, a mushroom is a type of fungus. Or the plural here is fungi. Or sometimes people might say fungi or fungi.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a crazy word. If you look it up in the dictionary, it will give you both pronunciations. So pick the one that you're most comfortable with. I wanted to mention here, one of our vocabulary words that we kind of skipped over was categorize. To categorize something is to put something, it could be people or things, into different groups according to the type of thing or person it is. You could also use the word classify. It's classified as fungi, or it's categorized as fungi. So we just put it in that group. And remember, don't put it in an animal group, a vegetable group, or a mineral group, because it's a fungus, type of fungus.
Yeah, sometimes you hear about people trying to categorize different movies, let's say,
right,
or different types of music. Like, oh, well, is that rock and roll, or is that pop music, or what? You know, people try and categorize different things because it helps them group them together and then maybe understand what they have in common with other movies of that type. Like a romantic comedy. Well, it has romance in it, but it's also funny. So which is it? Well, it's
a rom-com.
There we go.
That's a slang term for it nowadays. R-O-M-C-O-M with a little dash in the middle. Rom-com. Mostly just the ladies out there like those.
Yeah, but then they have the funny parts that hopefully everyone can enjoy.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, because you usually go on dates when you see those movies.
Right.
So, yeah, so these mushrooms are kind of strange little things. It says here that fungi contain a variety of nutrients, which has led to extensive research into their health benefits. So if something has a lot of nutrients, you're probably going to see people trying to use it in their cooking, because we all want to feed our bodies with good nutrients to stay healthy.
That's right. Yeah, anything that has health benefits, it's good for us, and therefore we want to eat a lot of it. And scientists will study it. They'll do research into it to see how it can help us be healthy. For instance, one commonly enjoyed mushroom, Agaricus bisporus, or Agaricus bisporus. This is the scientific name. I think it's Latin here. Is that the language that we're dealing with? And so, yeah, people won't know this. If you go up to someone on the street and ask them if they like Agaricus bisporus, 99% of the people will have no idea what you're talking about. So here we can just, just go over it and say that it's the Latin, the scientific name of one common mushroom. And this kind of mushroom provides impressive amounts of vitamin D, which helps the body absorb calcium and build strong bones. Okay, so this is why it's healthy. It provides a lot of a vitamin, vitamin D, of course, which is an important vitamin for our bodies. And it helps the body absorb calcium. Now, to absorb something is to kind of soak it up or to take it in. Say you spill some water on the counter at home. You might get a sponge or a rag to soak up the water because the sponge or the rag absorbs the water, right? So our bones also need to absorb things like calcium. This helps the bones get stronger. And so these mushrooms help the body absorb calcium. That's great.
Yeah, we also use absorb to talk about learning large amounts of information. Maybe you're studying for school and you're absorbing all that you're reading and hearing from your teacher. It's going into your brain and you're trying to understand it. Again, here, though, it's just taking something in. Plants will absorb nutrients from the soil they're in. Our bodies will absorb water. As we take it in. So, yeah, we use absorb quite a bit. Remember, if you're doing the dishes, you might want a sponge. A sponge helps you to wash your dishes clean, and that sponge will absorb water into it. If you want the water out, you squeeze it.
That's right.
So, yeah, absorb. It helps us absorb calcium, which is one of the important vitamins. It's a vitamin D. Calcium helps build strong bones. And so this would probably be something good for the younger people and also the very elderly, because as you get older, your bones start becoming brittle. They'll break easily. So what are other kinds of mushrooms? Well, other kinds have sources of vitamins and minerals that help support the immune system. We hear about the immune system a lot these days. Your immune system is that system in your body that protects your body against diseases. So if you have a good, healthy, strong immune system, you can resist getting other people's colds and the flu. Just because you're with somebody or near somebody that's sick doesn't mean you automatically will catch their cold or get their flu. If you have a good immune system, it will help fight off those bugs, as we call them.
That's right. So mushrooms can also be good for your immune system. So it makes sense. Maybe we should have more mushrooms in our diet.
Yeah, totally. Hey, guys, it's about time for our Chinese teacher. We're going to listen for a while, and then we'll be back to continue on.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜。我们今天带大家来看一下食物。有一种食物我可以问你3个问题，它也是美国的很著名的20个问题的猜谜游戏。他常会问的，它是动物吗？不是。是植物吗？不是。是 mineral 是矿物吗？也不是。这世界上到底有什么东西不是动物，不是植物，也不是矿物啊？想不到吗？ Mushroom 香菇，菇类的东西，不是动物，也不是植物，也不是矿物。好，我们来看一下文章的第一段。第一段的最后一句第3句的地方有一个重点，请把它抓出来。这个问题的答案，我们刚刚讲说有3个问题的答案，这里的 the answer to that question， 请你把中间的 to 把它圈起来。没错，我们中文翻成的这个字啊，以前我们国中学英文都会说的就是 OF， 可是要注意哦，那个 OF 的概念是一个所属的概念，包含的概念。可是呢，针对性的这个概念啊，在英文当中会用 to 这个字。我们来看看 question 问题本身没有包含 answer。好，所以这个针对某一个 question 的答案叫做 the answer to the question。在英文当中啊，还常用到的，例如某一个 problem， 我们要找出它的 solution， 那我们会说 the solution to the problem。某一个门，它有一个钥匙，这个钥匙是针对这个门才可以打开的哦，不是所属于门里面，它是针对性的 the key to the door。 像这些单字啊，所谓的像这些用法里面的都会用 to。 好，那么所以这些菇呢，不是动物，也不是植物，也不是矿物，到底是什么？其实它就是所谓的真菌类啦， Fungi 是属于真菌类。那真菌就有很多的营养素啊，这些营养素呢，就会让我们大家对于它做一些很广泛有关于健康方面的研究。在第2段第3句，我们特别抓出来看一下。第3句这里有一个补充说明的关系子句，先行词是 a variety of nutrients， 各式各样的营养素。逗点之后呢，我们再补充说明 which 指的就是这些各式各样的营养素。这些营养素导致了我们对于它健康益处上很广泛的研究，所以补充说明性的关系子句，基本上我们只要中文顺着翻下来就好了。Fungi 就有很多的营养素，而这些营养素导致了很多的研究。比如说有一种双胞蘑菇就有很多维他命 D 啊，维他命 D 就是让我们可以骨骼强壮，然后有很多吸收钙质方面的益处。接下来同样在第二段的第4句，我们看一下，也是有补充说明的关系子句哦。先行词是 vitamin D， 逗点之后同样也顺着下来 which 指的就是维他命 D and 而这些维他命 D 呢，就是帮助我们可以吸收钙质，强壮骨骼。不过接下来的第5句我们要看一下，它是限定用法的关系子句哦。先行词是 a source of vitamins and minerals， 有很多矿物质跟维生素。那怎么样呢？这些矿物质是维生素要限定是锁定在 that 到句尾可以左右括号，是可以 support 支持我们免疫系统的这些 vitamins and minerals。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, folks. Welcome back. We're talking about mushrooms today. So, are mushrooms supposed to be an animal, a vegetable, a mineral? No! It's actually a type of fungus. Mushrooms are fungi.
Mushrooms are fun guys. No, we don't say fun guys. That's just me being
joke.
Silly. But yeah, they are fungi.
Yeah. So mushrooms are not any of the things that people usually think of them as being, especially plants. I thought they were just a type of weird plant. I did know that they were a type of fungus, which is kind of creepy because, as Jacob explained earlier, when we get a type of fungus on our body, it's not something that's nice.
Right. It's itchy and just
you want to get rid of it.
Yeah, it makes you uncomfortable.
You want to kill it.
Right.
So, but these are really good to eat, and we found out they have some health benefits. For instance, some of these have large amounts of vitamin D. Vitamin D also helps your immune system, and it helps the body absorb calcium. Calcium is something that we usually learn about in school, and we all know that cow's milk provides calcium for us. You know, when you're growing up and you're small, your parents always say, "Hey, drink your milk. It'll make your make you grow tall and strong." Well, it helps our bones, so that's a good thing. Other mushrooms are also filled with types of vitamins and minerals that support the immune system. Immune here is a vocabulary word. We're using it, though, as a noun, but it's performing its job as an adjective. It's the immune system we're talking about. If you're immune to something, and that's an adjective, just means a particular disease can't invade your body. You know, it fights it off, it fights it back. You're immune to something. So here we learned that mushrooms are great for the immune system.
That's right. Okay, should we jump back into our article here? Some studies have indicated that certain compounds in mushrooms can improve gut health by prompting the growth of healthy bacteria. Okay, so again, we're looking into the research that's going into mushrooms and things like that, how the mushrooms can be beneficial or helpful to our bodies, and they have certain compounds. Now, a compound, in simple terms, is just a combination of something, let's say. When you think of a compound, you think of two things that are coming together to make one bigger thing. Water, for instance, is a compound. You learned this back in science class, that water is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen. We say water is H2O, right? You remember that symbol from your junior high chemistry class way back when. So there are certain compounds, these mixtures of things, of elements in mushrooms that can improve gut health. Okay, gut health. Right. You hear about this nowadays. People want to have good gut health.
Yeah.
So yogurt, for instance, might help improve your gut health. And now we're learning that mushrooms can too. Gut health. Stephanie, what is your gut and what is gut health?
Well, when I see gut, I typically think of my stomach.
Yeah.
Right? But I looked this up. I was just curious. I thought, does it have like an official definition? It actually is the tube through which food passes from your stomach.
So it's like is it your intestines?
So the synonym for it is intestine. So yeah, we have intestines, those long, thin tubes inside our bodies where our food goes, as it gets digested and broken up. Yeah, so it can actually take 72 hours for food to pass through the gut.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is an official definition there.
And when people say like, oh, he doesn't have any guts, or oh, you don't have the guts to do something, we also use this to describe someone's sort of bravery, right?
Right.
Like if you don't have any guts, it means you're not really like brave, or you might be scared to do something. Oh, you don't have any guts, or you can't really do it. That's sort of one of the things we think of, and that's guts. That's always used in the plural to say that someone doesn't have any guts. But here, of course, it means sort of the kind of your insides, your intestines or something, where the food passes from your stomach and then exits your body, let's say.
And gut health these days is a very popular topic. Just in the last couple of decades, they've learned that if your gut is healthy, it affects the rest of your body.
Okay.
Your gut and your gums have become kind of important in the last decade. It's very interesting to see where these studies lead us. So, the good thing about this is mushrooms prompt the growth of healthy bacteria. There's bad bacteria and healthy bacteria. We want the healthy kind.
Sure.
So, if something prompts something else, it just makes something else happen. Or maybe you're prompting somebody, by prompting somebody, you're getting them to do something that you want them to do, or you're getting someone to decide to do something.
Right.
But here it's just prompting or leading to or encouraging the growth of healthy bacteria, which is important.
Right. You might think of an orchestra, and the conductor is standing there in front of the orchestra, and he raises or she raises their baton. And then the musicians know to get ready to play because the conductor is prompting them to get ready. Or your teacher might prompt you to answer a question by kind of, pointing at you or wanting you to say something. So they're getting you to do something. So mushrooms can help prompt the growth of healthy bacteria. Now they also have an umami flavor. Now, what word is this? This looks Japanese or something?
It is
I can't
Japanese.
tell. Oh, okay.
It's a word that has become popular in cooking shows that I watch. I love cooking shows. Umami is a category of taste. We've got sweet, sour, salt, bitter, and umami.
Oh,
umami
wow.
is Japanese, but it's a word that means a flavor that adds a lot of depth to it. It's hard to explain, but it corresponds to the taste of MSG.
Oh,
which
it does.
Is very interesting, yeah.
Okay.
MSG adds that, but umami just gives that really depth of flavor to things.
Like a hearty flavor,
Hearty
you might
depth,
say?
yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to describe. They often talk about some of the Japanese dishes having umami. So this is a good thing because it can indirectly aid heart health. That just helps your heart. Too much salt can be detrimental, which means bad for or hurt something to your blood pressure. But it's that rich savory. That's how they use it. They use it as a savory. They describe umami as being a savory taste. And this is what mushrooms taste like. So it can make your dish more appetizing, or just you want to eat it more. You don't need to add any more salt. Okay, moving on to the final couple of paragraphs. It says, most mushrooms contain a component called ergothioneine.
Okay.
That's kind of an official scientific word, and that prevents or slows damage to cells all over the body. Everyone wants this these days. A survey of cancer studies that covered nearly 40 years of data showed that by incorporating mushrooms into the diet can reduce your risk of cancer. That's what everyone wants. To incorporate just means to include something as a part of another group or a system or a plan. Maybe you have 2 papers that you've written this semester, but you want to take both of them and incorporate them into your final semester term paper. So you would add it in.
Right. You just said include. I think that's a good synonym here for incorporate. You want to include mushrooms into your diet, or you want to incorporate them as part of your diet because, yeah, this can help you fend off cancer. And, of course, cancer is a serious disease that is affecting many people around the world. Even here in Taiwan, there's a lot of people that deal with cancer. And while oyster mushrooms have more ergothioneine compared to other mushrooms, including any kind of mushroom in the diet, is beneficial. Beneficial here is an adjective. It means helpful. Okay, if something is beneficial to you, it helps you. It improves something, let's say. Studying is beneficial to your learning and to your grades. If you study, you'll hopefully get better grades on your tests. So studying is beneficial to you. Eating good food is beneficial to your body. Sleep is beneficial to your health. Okay, so we think about these things that have connections, and one thing is beneficial or helpful to something else.
So people around the world eat a lot of different kinds or species of mushrooms. Some of the most common are being introduced in our next program. We're out of time, though, now. We're going to listen one more time to our Chinese teacher, and then we'll be back to say goodbye.
接下来我们看一下第3段的第一句，第5个单字，这里有一个 that， 注意一下 that 前面有一个及物动词叫做 indicate， 指出 show， 显示出什么事情。所以在这里的 that 一直到句尾，其实我们要用中括号，因为它是一个可以省略的连接词，用来连接从 certain compounds 一直到句尾，这整个句子当成是 indicate 的受词。所以蘑菇当中这些复合物呢，基本上就可以用来改善肠道啦。另外呢，蘑菇还有一些鲜味 umami 这种 flavor， 它间接可以帮助心脏健康。同样在第3段第2句这边，真的有一个限定用法的关系子句，先行词是 an umami flavor， 关系子句从 that 一直到句尾的地方。好，这里是限定什么呢？限定间接帮助心脏的这一种 umami flavor。 怎么说啊？因为如果有鲜味的话，我们就可以少放一些盐，少放一些盐的话呢，就可以降低血压，然后就可以让心脏健康，所以它是 indirectly 比较间接性的一种帮助。好，那当然到最后呢，蘑菇啊这种所谓的 mushroom 通常都会有一种很特殊的成分叫做麦角硫因，也就是说我们什么灵芝啊的这种成分，就可以防止减缓对全身细胞的损害。好，我们在第4段第1句这边特别要注意一下哦。你会想说，老师，那这样子的话，逗点之后 that 到句尾 that prevents 是个关系子句没有错，可是不是说关系子句 that 前面不能打逗点吗？大家小心一点，这句话其实我们要先把逗点中间这个 called ergothioneine 这个地方把它抓出来。其实逗点中间是一个补充说明关系子句的简化，省略的是 which is， 也就是说原本句子啊，如果你把逗点这边都遮起来的话，的确有看到一个限定用法的关系子句，先行词是 a component， 有一个成分。什么成分呢？从 that 到句尾的地方，也就是能防止或减缓对细胞损害的这种成分。那么在补充说明插入一个 which is called ergothioneine， 就是被称为麦角硫因的这种成分。好，所以香菇呢是的确非常有营养的，跟其他的蘑菇相比呢，像袖珍菇啊，就相对有更多这种 ergothioneine 的成分。所以我们明天还会带大家继续来看一下好几种我们市场常见而且非常健康的香菇哦。我是安娜，我们明天见。
That's it for today, guys. We hope you'll join us next time. For English Digest, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Jacob.
Bye.
Bye-bye.